Welcome back to Pure Science Education. Today we're looking at germination and seed plants. As you can see, there is a bean seed in front of you, and what we're going to do is look at the different parts of the seed. So first thing we're going to look at is the seed coat, which could be soft or hard depending on the type of seed. Now seeds can come in many different shapes and sizes, and this one could be start very small, it could be a larger one. So a radicle is the first root of the plant, hypocotyl is the first stem of the plant, epicotyl is the first leaf of the plant, and cotyledal is the inner protective layer of the seed, which provides food for the start before the root gets anchored into the soil. So for the seedling to grow into different stages and go through germination, we have to look at certain conditions. Let's look at the stages of germination before we look at the conditions. So in order for the seed to grow for germination, there are different stages. So as you can see, we're going to start off with a seed which is in the soil and which has been watered regularly. The reason you're watering it so the soil doesn't dry out and is kept moist. For the seed to turn into a seedling, the first part is the seed will absorb water from the surface, and the water will reach the embryo in the plant, which will then increase in size. As you can see, from there to there, it has been increased. And once the embryo comes out, the first thing you can get in the plant is the root, which then anchors itself into soil and starts absorbing nutrients. At this stage, because the roots are still tiny, the main source of food is the cotyledal, and after that, the next part that comes out after root is the epicotyl, which is the stem. Eventually comes a stem that shoots out, and finally the final part comes out is the leaves. So in order for the plants to germinate, we need to undergo certain conditions. So let's look at the conditions of germination. Conditions or factors for germination. So the first thing we need to do is it's going to need light. For some plants, it even may be darkness, depend on the type of plant. The second thing we're going to need is oxygen. We're going to need moisture, so it's really important that we water a plant every time we put seeds in. And finally, the major one is the correct temperature. So you can't have too hot or too cold for the seeds to germinate. Once these conditions are correct, the plant will start to germinate and it will turn from a seed to a seedling, as shown in the previous diagram. I hope this was a quick whiz through germination and it gives you an insight into it. Thank you.